जब वो बहुत सारे सवाल और चाहिए एक जवाब तो गूगल के नए एआई मोड से पूछ।
एक बहुत क्यूट सा गिफ्ट लेके आया पब्लिक, अपने एक सब्सक्राइबर ने दिया है. लेट मी शो यू गाइस. He's from here, Paris, and so ये जो उतारा है उन्होंने मेरे को मेरे स्ट्रीमिंग सेटअप पे उतारा है. The journey started from here till here in Paris, representing India, and इंडियन फ्लैग के साथ मेरे को उतारा है. मेरी जर्नी उतारी है इधर. So much of detailing, man. From India to Paris, watch party with the world. Record-breaking 451k viewership. Dream, believe, grind, achieve. This is just the beginning. Snacks gaming. और rhyme हो गया तो. Thank you so much, यार. Means a lot, भाई. अभी just नीचे मिले मेरे को भाई. उधर बैठे हुए थे. जब नीचे जा रहा था. This is so sweet, bro. This is so sweet. इतना प्यारा effort, इतना ज़्यादा time देके उतारा है. Thank you so much, man. Means a lot. W कर दो यार पब्लिक, एक बार चैट में अपने सब्सक्राइबर के लिए W कर दो. W कर दो.
I personally
Let
just want the Groza.
see the chat.
Yeah, I do have the Groza. Unfortunately, I don't use it much because I cannot control that recoil. So I just stick to the Org because I'm basic like that, Seven. But the Org is cool.
I'm with you, honestly. I won't be able to control the recoil, but I just want to see it. I want to see it glow, even if I'm able to get at least one elimination. One team that was able to glow in this last match, being able to keep all their 4 players alive, none other than Ulf Natura.
Oh, finally. You said it, right? We're finally getting a play where we actually have all of Ulf still around, still here to fight for the end game, to fight for that chicken dinner coming on through. Yeah, really nice to see. I mean, yes, they didn't have to contest it too much. They had 1 or 2 fights in the mid-stage of the game, OG more notably, but then they were able to just hold their position, wait for the right time, and then once that time struck, Max, they were all over that final circle.
Yeah, I mean, really able to get himself some good presence at the end, keeping 4 players alive, which is my biggest issue with them since PMGO Season 1 in Jakarta this year. And, you know,
यार पब्लिक क्या बोलते हो गेम के बारे में, क्या कहना है तुम लोगों को? क्या लग रहा है? Where are we lacking? I feel like
finishes from Ulf, but second place
थोड़ा individual pickoffs.
I got a segment later on, but you know what? It's good to see that once they do get out of the hot drop,
but last game अच्छा गया था 4-man थे, but this god जो knock हुआ, that was only because he was rotating with the team. हारू के पास जा रहे थे, वो पकड़े गया. Godlike का early zone को पकड़ने की कोशिश तुरंत भाग के, वो last zone में थोड़ा खराब गया. थोड़ा टाइम लेके जाते तो they might have
I mean, look, it's still a great
got a chance to either push Tianba या Tianba की जगह लेके वहाँ से गेम बनाने का. थोड़ा पेशेंस दिखाना था, वहाँ गड़बड़ हो गई. यार पता नहीं यार, थोड़ा लेफ्ट राइट जा रहा है. बड़ा विश एंड प्रे लड़के रीसेट होके जो कॉन्फिडेंस रखते हैं यार, ये प्लेयर्स 8 प्लेयर्स, उस पे अगर खेलेंगे तो मजा आ जाएगा भाई. उस पे अगर खेलेंगे तो मजा आ जाएगा.
We're probably going to see them a little bit more active. I mean, they need to be a little bit more active in that. But to get to that, I guess, spot that they have, it's a lot better than the previous match.
It is. And one team that was able to, that's also been starting off slow, but finally being able to wake up, Max, none other than 4 Thrives. 4 Thrives getting 8 eliminations this last match.
Good to see. Finally good to see it, especially a lot of those eliminations actually secured on 2 teams that were interesting. You had Team Flash a little bit early on in that game too. That was fun to see how they won that little bit of an encounter. Huzaifa.
Jules better guys, Jules better, Jules.
Really good numbers from Huzaifa. But they had a very good early rotation, and you could say a bad rotation from Nongshim Red Force, where they catch them off guard. They didn't expect to clash next to Potato Hill. And you know 4 Thrives, right, Nipchura? If they can take a fight and you are in a weakened state, they're going to chase you down until the edge of the earth, and that's what they did. And Nongshim Red Force took a massive L there. So 4 Thrives, if you know where they're going to rotate, I would try and avoid them because they don't like having neighbors around them.
peak watching hit किए अपन कुछ idea है क्या?
In this state of where we're seeing them of just kind of indecision, I think they don't really know what's going on.
Public में कोई चीज बताओ अपन कितना
it is nice to see that, yeah,
peak watching hit
still a threat even in this state, and it's just been really difficult for me to actually watch 4 Thrives because I'm used to a very confident team that knows exactly what they're doing at all times, and I can tell that they're not sure what's wrong, why this isn't really happening. There's a little bit of the old spark there in this last game, but I think really it's just indecision. They're hesitating just too much.
Didn't you say like something about T24 going out a lot early recently?
He
Like
goes
that's
out
been a big
really
issue.
early. Yeah, and he's one of the big fraggers. He's really up and coming as a big fragger for
मैं
the
तो रहने
team.
दो, मैं
So
protein
for
bar खा
him to
लेता
go
हूँ।
out early, yes, Huzaifa
बस
is
इसके
able to
बाद मैं dinner
clutch.
करूँगा proper heavy,
But, you know,
तो protein bar
T24, they need a fourth player. They need somebody like him on that squad to just stay alive a little bit longer.
Yeah, T24 was able to start slow during
अपन
groups
Indian
as
restaurant में
well.
जाके
Then he was
proper
able to
dinner
pick it up. But right here in the finals, you don't want to be starting slow. So that's one team we'll definitely be looking to see bounce back. One team that has been really consistent, especially with eliminations. We talked about it earlier, Lace, is none other than Tiamba. Tiamba just keeps putting up those eliminations in a big, big way.
They absolutely have, and I also want to add into that, like keeping up those sort of eliminations. It's also E-Arena. Like we sort of like look at these two powerhouse squads, and we're gonna have to get a mashup with these two teams because they are making it in those top 5 positions. They are clearing their space. They're grabbing the eliminations along the way. Even in a fight where I saw, I think it was Enigma Galaxy could have pushed E-Arena a lot earlier in their position, but for whatever reason, I'm sure Max will cover it, they didn't sort of get into that contention, but E-Arena just kept making power plays for the spot that they want. Tiamba is also making those power plays to get the position that they want. And obviously early eliminations, especially in today, is what will capitalize you for going into tomorrow. So this steady, I guess, excel in eliminations has been awesome from both of these squads.
Yeah, especially for E-Arena, right? Remember what we saw of E-Arena in day 1 of their Group B?
Big
they
bang,
were
then a
able to
downfall.
get those 29 eliminations in Rondo, and then after that, they kind of just ended up dying off.
हाँ तो मैं बोल रहा था प्रोटीन बार खा लेते हैं पहले फ्रूट से सामने ही खाता हूँ बट यार फ्रूट्स खाने के लिए स्पून नहीं है मेरे
Something that I
पे
want you to keep in mind is the placement that this
Saath, the
team
protein
is
bar.
currently being able to put up, being able to survive even longer, and the eliminations are even higher because they have been consistent with those eliminations.
They have been very, very consistent. It's been back-to-back-to-back games of just really good placement, good strategy, good synergy with the team as well. They look
यार
fairly
अभी तक एक
confident.
बात बताओ
The lobby
ऐसी कौन
is
सी टीम है
hard,
जो
I'm gonna say
तुमको
that.
एकदम
It is a
ऐसा
very, very difficult
शॉक
lobby,
कर
night and day from the group
खतरनाक
stage
खेल
from the survival
मैं
stage.
बोलूंगा मेरे को है ना
But they
मैं
are
निग्मा
handling it
गैलेक्सी को
very well.
इतना
I do want to say very quickly,
अच्छा करते हुए
what
expect
I
नहीं
loved
किया
about the fight with For Thrives, right?
Even though
that
having the
dip,
drop
that-
fights.
the way they use the terrain,
बहुत
because
अच्छा
there's a
खेले।
bit of a cliff
देखो।
area there. It's a dip, and then you got those 2 cliffs.
ये
What
arena-
actually they ended up using is they
Aurora,
went in, they went off the cliff, back behind
Tianba,
For
ये सारी
Thrives,
जो
and
भी
they
teams अच्छा
used
करे,
that-
बहुत सारी teams है
that
ऊपर।
terrain where they couldn't
उन top 5 के
actually
लिस्ट में
see
मैंने
to move
NGX को
around in
expect नहीं
front
किया
of
था,
them
अरे
as well. So
practically
it
बता
gave
दो,
the
क्योंकि जिस हिसाब से
illusion
खेल
that
रहे
they
हैं यार
were
बहुत अच्छा खेल
everywhere
रहे
at
हैं
once, when really they
गन
weren't.
फाइट निकाल के
For
बाद
a
में
team
जोन
that
भी
is slightly
कन्वर्ट कर रहे
stronger
हैं
like For
एंड
Thrives,
जोन में
that
भी
was
टॉप
just
3
the
टॉप
death
5 लेके आ
knell.
रहे हैं
So
अच्छा
very
कर
well
रही
played
है
by
NGX
EA, good knowledge of the terrain and
है ना?
great synergy overall.
It was a magic trick.
प्रोटीन बार खा लो फ्रेंड्स
It really was.
Max, there is something that has been pretty much pissing us off when we talk about Aaron Gill, and that is the hot drops that we're seeing between Enigma Galaxy and none other than Ida. It's
क्या
good for
लगता है
Enigma
कल ईडा
Galaxy
उतरेगी
right
क्या?
now, but Ida is just they're just squandering their hopes.
Yeah, I mean, Enigma
कीड़ा
Galaxy
के अंदर
saw
कीड़ा
what
तो
they
है।
can actually get out of the hole.
2 बार
The
मरने का
hot
नहीं,
shot,
तीसरी
but
बार
here
भी
you
मरे
go
थे
for
उतर के
Chinky. Enigma Galaxy
क्या
jumping
ईडा का
into
कीड़ा कल
since
खत्म होगा
the
पब्लिक
1990s at
क्या
this
ये
point,
उतरेंगे या
and
नहीं
Ida gonna
उतरेंगे?
be joining up on this one.
मेरे को लग रहा है अगर NGX आज
Initially,
अच्छा
I was like,
करेगी
okay, Ida, you should not be
आखिर
going
के
for
2
this
गेम
hot
भी
top. You know,
तो ईडा
as a
उतरेगी खराब
clear-up
करने के लिए
fact
बट उनका भी तो
that
गेम
Enigma
खराब हो
Galaxy
रहा
will
है
never give up this location, and it's almost getting to the point for me, Niptura. I'm thinking Enigma Galaxy maybe this would be a good opportunity.
रोटेशन
for you
पिक ऑफ
to
हो
start
रहे हैं
leading,
और
because Ida
थोड़ा
are not
कॉन्फिडेंस
just
ये
ruining
अच्छा
your
यार
advantage,
कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं
they're ruining
मेरे को बस
your
एक ही चीज का
entire
डर है रे
tournament
पब्लिक
run so far.
नर्वस होके तो नहीं
really
खेल रहा ना
weird, right? Because for Enigma Galaxy, it's
नर्वस
like
तो नहीं हो रहे ना
Ida is the newcomers. They need to get
At the
out.
end of
Clearly
16
it's
जो
not
team
working
first
for them.
position
They
पे होगी
have
वो
2
नया winner
points over the entire day. 1
नहीं यार
2,
ऐसा
that's
नहीं है
it.
ब्रो द थिंग इज एंड एट द एंड ऑफ 16th ऐसा नहीं है 16 तारीख को अगर स्मैश वाली टीम पहुंच गई मतलब जो स्मैश पहुंच गया टोटल 6 गेम होते हैं 16 तारीख को 6 गेम ही होंगे वो 6 गेम भी पूरे हो ना हो उसकी कोई गारंटी नहीं अगर पहली टीम कोई टीम पहले मैच में स्मैश पहुंच गई दूसरे या तीसरे या चौथे गेम में कभी भी चिकन डिनर मारती है तो टूर्नामेंट वहीं खत्म हो जाएगा या कोई भी टीम जो स्मैश पहुंच के चिकन मार देगी चाहे वो 6th गेम ही क्यों ना मारे और वो 6th गेम में भले वो 2nd 3rd या 4th या 5th पे हो वो फर्स्ट आ जाएगी चिकन मार के अगर 6 गेम में कोई भी स्मैश वाली टीम चिकन नहीं मारती तो इवेंचुअली जो फर्स्ट पे रहेगा पॉइंट्स टेबल के हिसाब से वो जीतेगा तो ये जो इवेंचुअली वाला सीन है ये लास्ट ईयर ईडब्ल्यूसी में हुआ था YG जो है यांगोंग गैलेक्टियस या क्या है रे कैसे बोलते हैं उनका यांगोंग गैलेक्टियस या ऐसे कुछ होगा प्रोनाउंसिएशन उनका मेरे को आइडिया नहीं बट YG तो YG लास्ट ईयर ऐसे जीती थी बट PMMI अगर आप मेरे साथ देखे रहोगे मकाओ इनविटेशनल उसमें टियानबा फ्यूरिया फर्स्ट पे थी टियानबा 2nd या 3rd पे थी टियानबा ने चिकन मार के सीधा चैंपियनशिप ले ली. तो ये सब होता है एंड 16th को ये सब एक्सपेक्ट कर सकता है.
So focused on that clash between Nigma Galaxy and Ida. Of course here
330 के पीक गया.
Nigma Galaxy, the smokes and the way they started pushing these solo players, that was very well executed, but one mistake, one slight error, and you lose a player and instantly your chances of a win dwindle to almost nothing.
Well, we know exactly what happened when Fourth Thrives joined the party, right? Nigma Galaxy
Jules,
lost a couple of players, and then we didn't really see them in that game. They went out fairly early on. They had to full send game one. They had to full send to the beach and just kind of stay there. There was no opportunity for them to get any points whatsoever. So yeah, for Nigma, this is bad on both sides. I'm mad at Ida for initiating this every single game, but Nigma need to figure out how to adapt to this.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out how to adapt to this. If I had to pick one team to stop hot dropping in Pochinki, it wouldn't be Nigma, because Nigma has been getting the better end of this. Especially they showcased what they were able to do in the last match. They're getting the eliminations too. So Nigma Galaxy, keep on doing your thing. If you're Ida, get the heck out of town. You need to find a different spot. But when we're talking about someone, you're gonna pretty much see here just the finish of this engagement between these squads. You know what, Max, Lace, who would you want to see just give up this hot drop between Nigma and Ida?
It's got to be Ida, right? Like
It has to be.
Like they're not even getting any further into the late game. They should have just made
Like
the
I
decision
said,
to sort of
boys.
rotate from this position. I mean, you know, I was kind of touching on, I think, Nigma Galaxy a little bit later into the zone, how they're making slow decisions. But again, this is slowing their decision.
Crucial
but,
2 games, man.
yeah,
Crucial
just-
2 games.
Yeah.
Look, by the way, look on the left side of your screen. While they're still in their looting stage, technically, right? So hot drop's a bit weird, it's a bit different. You have Nongshim Red Force fighting Fourth Rise on their first rotation
Chicken
after
cheer,
the
boys.
looting stage. This is, look, even here, you have the fight Orangutan fighting Ulf. So everything is happening. In the game, teams are not going to wait for you. And while that's happening, you're still in your initial drop location and you have no scouting done.
Yeah.
The loot truck, you can see on the left side of your screen, he came back for round 2. Round 2, and the fight is still not done. What are we doing?
It's okay. This is Picado red buildings all over again. It's really annoying. It's Picado red buildings all over again, Max. I mean, we get so mad at that hot drop, and we still have the Miramars to go. So if either of you hot drop red building Picado, I am going to come over to your table, and I'm going to
Moonwalk.
be aggressive. Yes, I'm going to moonwalk.
Look,
I'm going to hee-hee at you very
TLDR,
aggressively.
TLDR for the entire segment, we don't like it. End of
48
story.
4 game में.
Yeah, unless you're Nigma Galaxy. Nigma Galaxy
45,
currently in third
44,
place. You have
36.
E-Arena right now in first place.
एक चिकन
48
सीधा यार
points.
पब्लिक.
Tiamba continuing on those consistency
एक
of
चिकन
eliminations.
सीधा top
This
8
is the
में
main
भी.
story for Tiamba right now. 45 points, 37
अभी भी हाथ
coming
से गया है
from
नहीं
the
tournament.
elims. And if we start going down, we are seeing one team that has
वैसे तो
been
बिल्कुल भी अगर आज
going
के
down as
दोनों
the
गेम
day
भी
has been going
कैजुअल
on.
जाते फिर भी
And
हाथ
it's
से
none
टूर्नामेंट गया नहीं
other
टेंशन
than
मत लो.
Aurora, Max.
Yeah,
But still,
unfortunately,
yeah.
I still have not seen the comeback of Doc, right? I would even
Yeah,
take the
still
Doc
public.
at this
Ek
point.
game top 8
I want to see something
Ek
come
अच्छा
out
game
of it,
top
but
8
yeah,
सीधा.
they've definitely been slowing down quite significantly. Keep in mind, they've got 11 placement points, sure, but they got second place on the first rondo. That's 6 placement
Nihan
points.
lost.
After
अरे
that, the rest
यार.
of the day is
भाई
only
ये
5
Magnus ने भी है
placement
ना
points
और निहाल
after
को पिक किया
3
है.
Erangels back to back to back. Quite disappointing, especially when
उन्हें
it's just
anti-Nihal,
outside
hearts
of
in the
very
chat for
clear. I
Nihal.
was expecting way more.
जिस
They're
हिसाब से lower
slipping down,
bracket
and
से
especially when Ulf now, they've just got a 4-man
खेलते
finish.
आया
You
भाई.
know Ulf are going to be
इनसे.
chasing for that podium
बट
spot.
W निहाल कर दो
I
chat में.
mean, for me, I'm not too worried about Aurora right now. They've had a good start to the
हारा
day.
भी तो देखो ना
We're
किससे हारा
still
भाई
in the
वर्ल्ड के
finals,
नंबर
and
1
we
से.
do know that this is a team that really waits until the last minute to actually do something. They just do just enough to stay ahead.
अर्जुन का
But
मैच कब
the
है?
problem is when you're seeing teams like Ulf, like Vitality, we haven't even seen Vitality at their best yet. You know, teams like this that are going to be coming up and gaining that momentum as the days go on, Aurora are going to get left behind pretty quickly.
So you are
यार मेरे
worried
को तो
or
डर
you're
लग रहा
not
है अपना हॉट
worried?
ड्रॉप का.
I'm on the fence as of right now. At the
Sounded
end of
like
the
it.
day, I'll be a bit worried.
Okay, because you say I'm not worried, and you start sounding very worried to me.
I'm not too worried.
Started to sink in. She's like, oh, actually,
Oh,
this
yeah,
isn't
fine.
looking
Oh,
too
hold
good.
up.
Just kept saying more teams. Like,
Oh,
that
God.
sounds like you're contradicting yourself here. Going here towards the second pick, we really haven't seen much lays out of S2G. With Furia, it's been a hit
एक
or a
अच्छा
miss,
game top
and then
eight
we
में.
got some of the other squads there.
SPG are getting busy, right? But they are sort of like losing the control on these fights.
SUG
They're
एक
able
मार
to
के
get the
भी
placement points.
ninth पे
It's
बे.
been great. Chicken dinners are coming through, but it's kind of like more of a gifted
भाई बहुत टफ लॉबी है बे सच्ची
scenario
बताओ तो.
in a lot of segments. But you've heard me out here, guys. I'm not going to go on about that. But
No driver's license.
Well, I won't carry on about that. But look, I just want to touch on Vitality. We didn't really get to talk about them. They are playing incredibly scared. So, Neptura, after your sort of worried statement, I am also worried in that sense because, like, even in that final zone there, they had the Western side to sort of scoop up behind Nigma Galaxy.
Like and sub, boys.
And they did nothing.
Yep. One team that I want to see more out of, especially towards that second page, is none other than Godlike. And I would love to see the player stats so far today because this is a team that a lot of people were expecting to actually finish pretty high. And it has to do with the fragging power of S-Power. And right now, for S-Power, to give him a break, he is the only one that's performing for the squad, being able to average at least one. But the rest of the squad is just not looking good.
It's looking pretty bad in terms of eliminations, and the reason why the eliminations are so low is look at their survival time. They're not even breaching the 20, and some of the players not even the 18-minute mark, which is not good in a lobby of this caliber if you want to be contending for that, let's say, top 5 situation right now. So Godlike, even looking back on this game, they should have pushed up onto, I think it was Ulf's compound, but they got very idle because the thing is, compared to the group stage where some teams might do mistakes and you might be able to weasel your way in, here you have to take fights head on.
15 अगस्त जय हिंद दोस्तों भाई कल तो बहुत स्पेशल डे है नितिन भाई कल तो बहुत स्पेशल डे
You cannot be hesitant. We've seen in your group stage, you have that raw fragging power from S-Power, from Admino, even Somei, and Manya is a great IGL, but you need to utilize it and take your chances.
Yeah, what I've noticed is Manya is making like these sort of scouting power plays, but the rest of the team is not supporting him, which they're getting caught out. So, I mean, it's surprising to sort of see that level that they're at right now because Manya is making incredible decisions, but it looks like a few other sort of on the team are just kind of tunnel visioning into the wrong direction, and then that's when they're getting caught out.
Yeah, I think also one thing that we really need to think about, or they need to think about, is it seems like they keep going for positions that put them in a position to have to fight teams head on. They're not succeeding in winning those fights. So if you want to make sure that you're actually going to get a position and be in there in the late game, you know, if you know you're fragging out against these squads in the finals, then stop putting yourself in these tight positions in between teams that mean you have to frag your way out of them. Play a little bit more like Vitality, the way that they're on the edge. Nigma Galaxy as well, they're on the edge. They try to just wait out other teams, take a fight here or there, but just survive and keep their.
But इस मैच के बाद है ना जो भी रंगल अपन देखे डेफिनेटली गॉड विल वर्क करेगी क्योंकि वो अर्ली एकदम इतने छोटे जोन में विदाउट वेटिंग फॉर द राइट टाइम जो तुरंत चले गए ना वो बहुत भारी पड़ा
and I think you're going to do even more as the day goes on, as the days do end up going on. But for right now, let's send it over to none other than the stylish man Blank and our special reporter Kalas.
Chalo boys, let's go.
Yes, the stylish man and the short man. I get it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We've got ourselves Mr. Blank here to talk about everything
you're my
that's been going
special
on.
little reporter, aren't you?
Right, yeah. I'll try my very best to rise to the occasion.
My special little man here on the stage here.
Shut up and go away. All right, we've got Tiamba to talk about as well, of course, as they have looked stellar in terms of their positioning. How they can play in this game.
Yeah, they have been really, really good. I'm so sorry. I do love you, bro. But honestly, there has been moments where the decision-making has been fantastic. I think that the way that they are speedily going to sometimes their demise is actually astonishingly good, right? Because I think me and Jackie were talking about this. I don't know if you agree, but there are times where they'll make what feels like the best decision in a bad moment, right? Where a lot of teams would just stand by and probably get naded and be like, oh, it's over.
Come on, nikalna yaar match.
So they've been able to kind of fight against some of the adversity. And I think that when you watched as QZZ was able to get MVPs on international stages this year alone, I think a lot of people, including Max and some pundits, etc., wanted extra people to be able to step up to the plate alongside.
चलो यार पब्लिक एक बार जितने भी लोग दिख रहे हैं सारे के सारे जिस भी गॉड में बिलीव करते हो प्लीज प्रे करो 2 गेम है पॉजिटिव रहते ऐसे हुआ था ग्रुप स्टेज में भी डे 1 में एंड के मिरामार में अपन ने चिकन मार के कमबैक करके डे 1 को सिक्योर किया था डिसेंट स्टेज पे आज बहुत जरूरत है द थिंग्स वी डिड इन ग्रुप स्टेज वी नीड टू रिपीट दैट अगेन एक अच्छा चिकन एक अच्छा गेम फ्रॉम गॉड लाइक एंड एक अच्छा चिकन एक अच्छा गेम फ्रॉम OG2 दोनों टीम को बहुत एक अच्छे गेम की जरूरत है देन कल 15 अगस्त है सबसे स्पेशल दिन अपने कंट्री के लिए इंडिया के लिए एंड उस दिन लड़के रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे इस ग्लोबल स्टेज पे प्राउडली अपने कंट्री के फ्लैग को, अपने कंट्री को रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे। कल का दिन स्पेशल है, बहुत ज्यादा स्पेशल है कल का दिन, पूरे कंट्री के लिए, पूरे आईजीसी के लिए, प्लेयर्स के लिए, सबके लिए। विशन प्रे कल का दिन एकदम अपन पॉजिटिव और बहुत स्पेशल नोट पे एंड करें। बट आज का दिन अच्छा जाना, 2 मैचेस कल के दिन के चीजों को और बेटर बनाएगी। तो प्रे करो, नजर वाले इमोजी आन दो, ज्वेल्स भेजो, वन साइडेड। आई नो सब लोग थोड़ा डाउन रहेंगे, बट दिस इज द टाइम व्हेन द प्लेयर्स एंड द teams need our support at the most. जितने भी लोग देख रहे, पूरा दिल से प्रे करो। जब अच्छा करते, जिस लेवल पे सपोर्ट करते, जब अच्छा नहीं जा रहा तो वो लेवल सपोर्ट का और बढ़ना चाहिए। तो कोई भी नेगेटिव चैट नहीं, चैट में सब पॉजिटिव सोचो और होगा, 2 गेम होगा, होगा।
Very much is passionate and enjoys his time in it, and he should be because he's having an unreal run.
All right, let's move on to another team then, as we have Ulf, who has looked, I would say, towards some of these latest moments, pretty good as well. Obviously, they qualified off the back of having that last game survival win, which was extremely important for their campaign as a whole. And they are one of the teams that a lot of people thought was going to be able to attain those top spots. Right now, their space control.
क्या खा रहे थे जीजा? प्रोटीन बार खा रहा था।
Yes, yes, very much so. I mean, I'm one of those believers. I'm an Ulf believer. Okay, everyone knows that. Everyone knows that Aaron is one of my favorite players. Ketch also from way back when, MVP in PMPL season.
Jules भेजो guys, Jules भेजो।
As old as me, but he is pretty old. Way back.
He's old. He's old.
Hi भाई, कैसे हो?
Still got it in him. Still got. He's got the grizzled beard. He's a grizzled warrior. But he looks good. And I think that for Ulf though, that last game was fantastic for me in particular because we were talking about it backstage, right? And I said, if Ulf wins this game, I want to talk about them. But it was nice for me to be in like stage 6 and really believe in Ulf to actually win the game that they should be winning if they make the necessary movements, which was to take out Tiamba and slowly corral the rest of the squad. So the fact that they did one, kind of a prideful moment for me because I was like, get in, lads. This is fine. You've got it.
And you liked your prediction.
I did, yeah. Also, I was quite chuffed about myself. Yes, that is right. Okay, 50-50.
Yeah, okay.
Great job, lads. Great job, me.
I think as well, you know, controlling that compound, it actually has great lines of sight on the south side.
चलो यार, important game.
From the north, which
Important
didn't
game,
really
bro.
exist in that game due to the way the circles were shifting. So
बहुत
they had
ज़्यादा
to turn
important
all
है,
attention
boys.
to the east as the next main threat. And I think you're right. They prioritize those threats very well from a compound like that. So good stuff by Ulf so far. Let's turn our attention as well to E Arena, who has looked. It's funny because I'm a little bit conflicted by what Arena's been putting up so far. Because even
Very
in this
crucial
game,
games.
I really appreciate the wide wraps that they're doing, but 4 Thrives have like